1. When should the owner, architect, and contractor conduct a joint inspection of the work? Immediately prior to partial occupancy or use. 2. A contractor's signature on a claim of lien must be subscribed and sworn before a notary public. 3. When bidding on plans and specifications, general clauses and conditions specify the legal requirements of the project and do not include accepted methods of estimating. 4. According to AIAA 201, how many record copies, if any, of change orders shall be maintained at the construction site for the owner? 1 copy. 5. Building sustainability is important to the future of construction methods and materials. As such, glazed fenestration products lacking a U factor may be assigned a default factor. 6. A state-certified contractor's license is required for a person working on a project having a total contract value of less than $1,000, who represents himself or herself as a qualified contractor. 7. When must the contractor submit to the architect a schedule of values allocating dollar amounts to the various portions of the work before the first application for payment? 8. Work requiring a permit shall not be commenced until approval of building official or issuance of permit. 9. According to ALA A201, unless otherwise required by the contract documents, required certificates of inspection shall be secured by the contractor. 10. Release of lien should be notarized by notary public. 11. The subcontractor must indemnify and hold harmless the owner, architect, contractor, and all agents and employees of them for claims against any of them except which of the following? Bad work. 12. What should the contractor do to avoid delays in the delivery of construction items? Check for long lead items. 13. The 3 things that are normally required to close out a contract are final acceptance, release of liens, and retainage. 14. Building inspections shall be made by the building official when required and shall include building, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, and gas. 15. When should the contractor request an inspection by the architect under an AIA contract? When determining substantial completion. 16. What is the most important factor that determines the reliability of a bid? Estimator skill level. 17. The contractor shall review for compliance with the contract documents, approve and deliver to the architect submittals required by the contract documents in accordance to the submittal schedule approved by the architect. 18. Which one of the following types of contracts best protects the contractor's profit margin against material quantity variables? Unit price contracts. 19. What is a construction management firm's payment based on? A contract with the owner prior to bidding. 20. According to Contractor's Manual, freedom to release lien rights in excess of what you are paid, as well as the freedom to pay more than the value of what is released is called settlement. 21. What is a construction management firm's payment based on? Fixed fee. 2. Users are encouraged to consult an attorney before modifying which AIA document? A 701. 23. Who shall provide the shop drawings? Contractor/subcontractor. 24. To obtain licensure as A_contractor, an applicant must submit an application to and pass an examination by the Department of Business and Professional Services. Certified. 25. What type of diagram is normally used to show control circuits of HVAC systems? Schematic. 26. According to AIA, acts of neglect by which party would not be considered by the architect for granting an extension of the contract time? Contractor. 27. What group is most directly involved with the subcontractors? The contractor. 28. The fee owner of a threshold building shall select and pay all costs of employing a special inspector, but the special inspector is responsible to which of the following? Enforcement agency. 29. All of the following are true concerning the posting of a permit except the permit must be posted in a location convenient for the building official. Posting a permit. The permit shall be protected from the weather. The permit must be kept on site until the work is complete. Work cannot commence until the permit is posted without permission of the building official. 30. What effect does furnishing a payment bond have on a potential liener? The lien rights of those other than the prime contractor are secured by the bond rather than the real estate. 31. As a project develops, the timing and coordinating of subcontractor work and material delivery is imperative for the project to run smoothly and efficiently. This responsibility typically falls on the field superintendent. 32. A permit is issued for a job and work commenced 1 month after issuance. A problem arises in construction after an inspection and work is suspended. Assume that no extension will be allowed. Within how many months the work start again, after its suspension, for the permit to remain valid? 6 months. 33. What is included in a contractor's warranty? Defective material. 34. For which of the following types of work is a building permit deemed unnecessary? Minor repairs. 35. A newly licensed general contractor must subcontract all types of work except structural work on swimming pools. A newly licensed general contractor must subcontract plumbing installations, would shake roofs on existing buildings, mechanical or sheet metal work. 36. Shop drawings have been submitted by a contractor and approved by the architect for the installation of an alarm system. The responsibility for any deviation of this system from requirements of the contract documents lies with the contractor. 37. An example of an income account ratio would be margin of profit equals net income divided by sales. 38. Which one of the following is required to be provided by an employer under OSHA? Safe and healthy workplace. 39. According to the Florida Building Code, for which of the following does an educational facility need a certificate of occupancy? Remodels. 40. A substantial completion for a building means that the building can be used for its intended purpose. 41. With a design-build project, the owner has contracted with a construction firm to provide architectural, engineering, and construction expertise. 42. Which statement concerning tests required for inspection is true? Any test required by the building official will be paid by the owner. 43. Whom should the contractor contact to verify that the notice of commencement has been filed? The Public Records Office for the location. 44. Pursuant to ALA A201, in the event the owner performs corrective work, after proper notices to contractor, the owner may back-charge to the contractors which of the following costs of such corrective work? The reasonable cost incurred including owner's expenses and additional architectural costs. 45. In order for an individual to undertake the demolition of a steel tank, tower or other building, the contractor must be licensed. Which of the following choices adequately describes the intent of this work? Tower structures over 50 tall and building over 3 stories in height. 46. When preparing an estimate for job overhead costs of the general conditions, the contractor should estimate each item entering into the cost of the job overhead the same as any other branch or work. 47. According to the statute of limitations for a construction contract, a lawsuit for an action to recover wages must be brought within years. 2 years. 48. Any person who commences work on a building before obtaining the necessary permits is subject to a fee established by the building official in addition to the required permit fees. 49. In what type of contract is the payment based on each item of work accomplished? Unit price. 50. What is the primary purpose for a construction schedule? To manage cash flow, labor, materials, and subcontractors. 51. When constructing a deck or porch, at what minimum height above finish grade elevation is a guardrail required? More than 30. 52. A subcontractor receives payment from a person paying 1 month late and signs the release of lien. The release of lien is signed with the current date by the subcontractor. The subcontractor has released his lien rights for work done through the date of the release of lien. 53. Coordination and inspection of a subcontractor's work should be done on a daily basis by the superintendent. 54. According to AIA, which is true concerning the furnishing of copies of the subcontract documents to the subcontractor by the contractor. The cost of reproduction of the copies requested may be charged to the subcontractor. 55. What would prevent a contractor from changing a subcontractor or entity? Owner or architect has a reasonable objection. 56. How many days does an employer have available for inspection at each establishment after receiving information that a recordable case has occurred? Within 7 days. 57. Which of the following are part of the minimum criteria and documents for a building official's examination of a 1- or 2-family residential project? Site plan. 58. Environmental compliance, besides being required, is good for business, the right thing to do, usually cost-effective, and builds a company's reputation as a good environmental citizen. 59. The architect of a construction project approved shop drawings submitted and approved by the project's prime contractor, but prepared by a subcontractor. After the architect's approval, a deviation was discovered in the shop drawings when compared with the project's plans and specifications. According to ALA 201, the responsibility to correct the deviation lies with the prime contractor. 60. Chimney, ducts, and vents must be in place before which inspection? Framing. 61. According to Builder's Guide to Accounting, for contractors and subcontractors, the disadvantage of volume buying of materials in a well-planned purchased ordering system is the discounted material may not need to be used in the reasonably near future. 62. What is the term for a systematic method of presenting notes or lists of material, equipment, and components on a drawing in tabular form? Schedule. 63. The construction schedule duration should be determined based on _start. Early. 64. Who is authorized to issue a stop work order? Code official. 65. What is the name given to describe the lines that link together activity boxes in a precedence diagram? Connectors. 66. Warranties required by the AIA contract documents shall commence on the date of substantial completion. 67. Assume an original contract of $105,000 with executed change orders to date of $15,000. If the contract is 50% complete, and the contract calls for 10% retainage, how much should the contractor receive for his first bill? $54,000. Contract equals $120,000 x 50% complete equals $60,000 earned minus 10% retainage equals $54,000. 68. The transfer of an inventory item to the project should be recorded by a /n. Requisition. 69. A schedule of value is used to establish work item values. 70. Title VLL of the Civil Rights Act, 1964, covers all employers who employ 15 or more employees. 15. 71. A certificate of authority for a qualifying agent. is not required if an individual engages in contracting in the individual's own name. 72. What is an advantage of using critical path over a bar chart? It shows project activities and restraints. 73. A dispute has been submitted to binding arbitration. It is subsequently discovered that the arbitrator failed to follow the law. Which one of the following statements is correct? The parties may agree to use appellate arbitrator. 74. A progress payment lien release should include the name of the owner and description of the property. 75. In the event that the parties in a dispute have agreed to arbitration, which of the following conditions would have to exist for arbitration to be waived? All parties in the dispute must agree to the waiver. 76. An electrical subcontractor keeps thousands of feet of number 12 wire in stock. The subcontractor purchases the wire 8 times per year, and the price varies with the current price of copper. What method of inventory control does the subcontractor use to determine the cost per foot for the year? Average. 77. According to Walker's Building Estimators Reference Book, look-ahead schedules are for managing project activities, and are usually 3-week or 90 days. 78. When reading the plans and specifications in the General Conditions segment of a bid request, a contractor notices that the plans are different from the specifications. The contractor should submit a formal request for information (RFI) to the architect/contractor for response and clarification. 79. According to Florida Building Code, the registered design professional shall submit to the building official of signed and sealed construction documents for an alternative engineered design. 2 complete sets. 80. There are no septic tank contractors within a reasonable distance to your residential construction project. Which of the following subcontractors can legally install your septic system? Plumbing contractor. 81. Employers are required to notify the Division of Workers' Compensation within hours of any injury resulting in death. 24. 82. Where can a C-label door not be placed inside the building? Openings in enclosures of vertical communications. 83. A liener, who is informed of the project termination, should record the claim of lien, whether or not previously recorded, within how many days from the date the owner files an affidavit that was recorded to recommence construction. 30 days. 84. During the bid process, which of the following documents has priority in the event of conflicting information? Addenda. 85. According to AIA, the subcontractor warrants to the owner, architect and contractor that materials and equipment furnished under the subcontract will be good quality and new.